and how poorly like what the fuck is this shit? Like save it for save it for something else instead of this shit. I mean it like the prequels, like they're different from other sequels where they are like
They add something.
they are pretty much the franchise. Like the OT are some amazing classics, but the prequels with all the world building, you really get Star Wars. You really, really, really get the Star Wars saga. Like the like this I mean, I don't need to talk about this so much. You guys know what I'm talking about, but it's just it's like I'm getting a cake that's like filled with razor blades. Like don't you fucking tell me may the fourth be with me. Like I mean, hell, you don't even whatever.
And you like The Force Awakens. So
oh yeah, that too. Like it's just I mean, you know, like the thing is that the less respect you have for it, the less meaning it has. You know, like if
if I say Happy Ramadan,
like James Bond. Oh yeah, exactly. Like you saying it pretty much has zero value because you don't care for it, probably. Like
I'm Catholic.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but it's although I suppose it can be said in a respectful way, but I mean, when the hell does that? When the hell does anyone do that anymore?
And can someone do a? Can someone do a separate recording because Diego's having recording issues?
Recording issues? Oh, no,
recording issues.
Holy shit! I just realized something. Every single time I backup recorded, I didn't record my own voice.
I see.
Son of a bitch. Alright, give me a second. Always on. Alright, there we go. Backup record. Recording has started. Alright, so, yeah, we're gonna move on because this is just the first 7 seconds and we're not EFAP, so let's go.
As promised on my Facebook and Twitter, if you've been keeping up with me, I'm going to be reviewing every single Star Wars theatrical film once a month until episode...
Not sure if that counts as a movie.
It did release in theaters.
Oh, it did.
No, anything,
I didn't hear about
have
it.
you ever heard of The Shark Exorcist?
No,
I don't think that's worthy of talking about, if I'm honest.
I actually mentioned it,
like,
reviewed it once.
Like it's the perfect example of failing in every regards possible.
Okay, I'd just like to say one
least they
thing
made a
about
movie.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the movie.
Yeah.
Unlike the sequels posters, this looks much cleaner, much less cluttered.
Yeah, I see what you're...
It conveys everything they need to know about the movie, whereas, you know, the other posters are just concerned with cramming as many characters as possible.
Like, it's kind of hard.
Well, I mean, like, the posters...
I don't like my edits of the...
Actually, let me take a look
LJ
at...
posters.
Flash Gordon movie poster.
I see.
Let me see here. Oh yeah, exactly. Yep, there we go. Yep.
Oh, that looks so similar.
Yep. That's definitely why they do it this way. Like here, take a look, guys. Oh, it's fan art. Oh, well, it's still same idea. The other posters don't look that much different anyway. But yeah,
Well,
it's like
you're looking at movie posters from the 30s or from the 80s.
I think it's the 80s one, Flash Gordon.
Well, then Star Wars posters aren't based off of it because that came out before Flash Gordon.
Well, no. George Lucas was inspired upon Flash Gordon, but
yes, but the 30s serial, not the 80s TV show.
Oh yeah, this one this one right here is probably one of the best examples of it. Like it's like yeah, that pretty much looks like that. But yeah.
Okay, I got something for you.
What?
I found the I found a 30s cereal.
Well, it. Oh, I see. I should have gotten a picture from that, but it doesn't really matter because it proves my point anyway. Oh.
That's
Yeah, that's definitely.
fired. There's just more ambience with the Star Wars posters.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it's not sort of like let me get a modern movie poster.
well,
That's blunt.
oh yeah. Look, the easiest one is just the John Wick 3 one where it's just his stupid face.
Yeah, at least the coloring is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's kind of.
All right, hold up one second. I might be unfair to it because I don't remember what it looks like. Oh, okay, that's slightly better than.
It's the same with like video game box art. It's just generic guys with guns.
Hey, at least
Oh!
the first John Wick poster looked pretty cool.
No,
No, I see it. It's not as bad
Last
as
Jedi poster
thought it
is
was.
so bad because like it's not too bad. I don't want to just like poo
Well,
on it unnecessarily.
Well, just like the movies.
It's well made, but it's not well designed.
Just like the movies, it's not well made, but yeah,
Designed.
like Airborne said, but
No.
but besides that, it's also just soulless like the movies are. Like when I see Rey in the same style I see Luke, I just feel nothing. Like it's
Skywalker.
It's But by the way, I find it pretty interesting that we see in episode 6 here we see Darth Vader and Anakin like crossing sabers, and then we see Obi-Wan and Anakin cross sabers in episode 3. I mean Luke and Vader in episode 6 obviously, but it's it rhymes, bro.
I think the first poster that like they ever released for Last Jedi, I think it was alright.
No, the white background really doesn't suit posters because it kind of comes
God.
out.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's garbage.
Someone send it.
Why didn't they make his face? Why did they make Kylo's face not as? What?
God, you're right. Why is his face matched up?
Oh my God, this is so terrible. I hate this. I hate this so much.
TLJ poster that I use for my parody posters.
This poster is also pretty bad, but it's not as bad as the other one. It's just way too red. Just way too red.
I like red. Red's my favorite color.
Well, then you're wrong.
But, like, you don't need to overpower the poster with red. There needs to be some sort of contrast.
Blue is objectively better than red.
Do you think my parody poster is better, or do you think it makes it a bit worse?
Do you have two begs to differ on that replica?
Oh, what the fuck is
it's the Chinese version of TLJ.
Yeah. Oh, we need to find a way to like show this to the people who are watching the stream or something. Like put it in the description of the video. All right. Well, that's yeah.
I got this.
Anyway, second air. Oh, he's gone. All right, Latvian. I'll say it to you instead. So what they should have done in the first one we see with Kylo and Luke is they should have made Luke blue and Kylo red, and they should have made red as like high and like balanced with Luke, and it should have been like the Flash.
Like one side is white, and one side is red, but they couldn't even carry it over. Fully.
Yeah, it's very silly, but yeah. So anyway, the reason why blue is the best color is because it's the color of air and water, and we need air and water to live. So it's the color of life.
I'm surprised they didn't show. They showed those cheapy fighters.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid how they use those. It's kind of hilarious. Yeah, it's funny because the visual looks good of it. It looks pretty good, but these are the worst designed speeders in all of history. Wait a minute. How the fuck do you even get in them?
Those little things are retractable, which means wait, why do they have those little things anyways?
You would have to climb on the ship and walk over the wing to get to the cockpit.
I think no, those things are retractable, so you can just.
But oh, wait a minute. If they're retractable, then you have to get on them sideways.
I'm talking about the little thing that goes into the ground.
Oh, I get it. The retarded thing. I love. By the way, I love how there's so many instances of not, of not having, like, hovercraft. It's so weird. I think they really just hate the. I don't know. Maybe it's the practical effects bullshit. Like it's yeah. Let's continue. I'm gonna get my food now.
Episode 7 this December, and we're starting off with the best one, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, you wish it was the best.
It's the 5th best out of the 6 George Lucas movies.
Yeah, what's the 6th best?
Whoever's got that talking in the background, could you mute yourself?
Oh, who?
I think it's Batman, dude.
Ah, you can just mute him.
Okay.
Alright.
I mean, I think it's one of the weaker additions in George Lucas's.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
No, I still think it's really good. It's one of the weaker ones.
Yes, we just have to watch out for Batman, Joe, because he might talk and we won't hear him even.
Still a great movie.
Yeah, whatever.
It's an amazing movie. Because like they don't give George enough credit for the final battle because that's really difficult to perform.
Yeah.
It's also just, amazing on its own.
Okay, let's continue.
Talk about it. No, I'm well aware there are plenty of fans of the prequels out there. There's lots of people.
Oh, even
The majority.
He admits that they exist, unlike some other people.
Blue Number Media.
Yes. And confused Matthew. Oh no, retarded Matthew.
Mentally unstable Matthew.
Nah, he's retarded. Mentally unstable. He's you.
I'm back.
Yeah. Who's back? Replica?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened?
All right. Let's keep moving.
People who enjoy these movies, and they've had to endure people hating on them and trashing them for many, many years. And while there are fans of the prequels out there, I think the majority of us can agree.
Majority
of the people in your echo chamber.
Yeah, that's your fault, by the way. Jesus.
Jeez, man.
There's lots of people who enjoy these movies, and they've had to endure people hating on them and trashing them for many, many years. And
yes, that is indeed what has happened. It was the best fucking time of my life, let me tell you that. Holy shit.
Now now the sequels are just gonna get hated on, and then some kids are gonna grow up and they're not gonna like it. It's not good.
Yes, the cycle repeats itself.
I actually know
totally.
I know kids like a lot younger than me who already hate the.
Yes, I really don't know about my.
Like I don't want to be an asshole like this, but seriously, if you grew up and didn't like the prequels, that just says something about your intelligence or ability to like perceive like the world around you. Like the sequels, they're just like I remember when I first saw the trailer, like I was already off the train because I was like, they killed the EU, so fuck them, like, which by the way, I am still to this day not seen anything of the EU, like barely anything. and my uncle is a massive fan of it, and he was like, they killed the EU, he was like, they killed the EU, and I was like, who cares? And he was like, have you got any idea how many good stories are on there? How many good, stories they could make into movies? And he explained Admiral Thrawn to me for like 20 minutes, and I was like, wow. So at that point, I was like, oh wow, this sucks. But I still had like a faint idea of like, maybe it won't be SJW garbage. And then I saw Black Stormtrooper, and I was just like, oh.
No, okay, having a black stormtrooper doesn't mean it's SJW.
Well,
no, it makes it SJW if all the
right.
stormtroopers were.
Or tell me, would you honestly, in 2015, after you just got away from Gamergate, and you got into politics because you hear all this feminism shit, which is, like, I got into politics and stuff like that, and pretty much thinking about movies and stuff like that from Gamergate. Like, it was, like, that kind of woke me up to the shit in the world. But, it's, like, that was all 2014, and, I was just like, wow, what the hell is this shit? And then I see the trailer for the movie, and it's just okay, you know what? You're right. It wasn't exactly Finn that made me go like, but
was
he was
Phasma.
It was definitely Finn that made me go like, oh no. And then you see Poe, who looks like a Mexican, and I'm like, oh no. And then I see Rey, and it's just like
racist.
Well,
yes, but okay.
Well, look, it's not like I hate them just because they are not, white or something. It's just that I was already aware of the agendas back then. So I was like, oh no, black guy, don't tell me they just did it because he's black. Oh no, Mexican looking guy, don't tell me it was because he's black. Like, that's what I mean, like, oh no, a woman, oh no. Like,
all the white characters died.
She's overpowered. No, like that. That's what I meant with that. Help, the actor for Poe Dameron. Like, I feel like he's probably like, he could have been pretty good in a good Star Wars film. Like,
yeah.
The reason why I said that specifically about him is because I noticed it when I watched it the first time. There's like no white people like in the trailer. Like, none of the significant characters other from Han are that always stuck with me to this day, where I was just like, oh my god, this is so SJW. This is like zero good white.
There was barely any aliens too. Like, what the hell?
Oh yeah,
definitely. Even Return of the Jedi had aliens in the Rebel Alliance.
I don't have I don't have problem if they're not that much white people. My only problem is if it's a sci-fi film, it's a Star Wars film, there's barely jack shit any aliens in the trailer.
There was in the 2003 Clone Wars show. There was this race of these blue, I guess, sort of tiger-looking people, something like that. I don't know.
Oh, it's
like
Nalvanians?
Something like that, yeah.
I remember them.
They talk. Their language sounded like a combination of Japanese and some other shit, and that was super interesting. Like, I would have loved to see all types of aliens like that, as characters, and I would have loved to just read subtitles and not understand what they say, like Greedo, like, I would have been up for that, like, totally. Like, if they want to, obviously we all know that they could never possibly do any of these things intelligently, but if they wanted to do diversity like that, or there's all types of aliens and shit, I would have maybe actually liked that, because Star Wars, the aliens. Well, okay, to be honest, it's understandable why George never really made them prominent characters, because,
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, the special editions. No, I mean the holiday special.
I was being like Chewbacca. Like we don't really want to hear Chewbacca talk. Like,
Have you ever seen the holiday special? It's like half of it is just Wookiees talking to each other without subtitles.
It really
And it's still far better than anything Disney's put out.
Hey, at least they don't talk. I think the best example of no one's movies happening, but no one's movies good, but no one's talking. Like they talk. They talk.
I do personally feel like that idea is a little overrated. In fact, there's a lot of movies where I feel like people don't talk enough.
It's in a Honda.
But it's but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot you can do with visual communication, purely just going with what you see in front of your eyes, as opposed to the like I mean, you don't need everything spelled out for you. Like the movies I wish they talked more in, I guess it's stuff like I don't know, The Matrix. I don't know. I have it a lot more with modern movies where I'm just like, if you would just talk it out, then 99% of the conflict wouldn't happen.
You really hate modern movies, don't you?
I despise a good 95% of all of them. There's some good. Like I saw this movie Bright. That was pretty good.
Bright? Bright? The movie with Will Smith?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, too. Cosmo hates that too.
Oh my fucking god.
Also hates that.
But yeah, it
was fine.
Let me just say this. I am really good at pattern recognition, and if I see patterns, I will recognize them very often. And if I see one thing that's bad in one modern movie, and I notice it again in another one, and then I notice it again in another one, at that point, like after like 3 or 4 times, I start to literally just see it. Like I can't even distance from it, which is why I hate, which is why I always shit on John Wick. Like John Wick on its own is actually way better than a lot of these other modern action movies, but I've already seen like a good 4 or 10 of them that have the same stuff in them. So by proxy, I already hate John Wick more than I would normally, if that makes any sense. Like it's like I've already seen 10 movies that are pretty much like John Wick, and so I'm like, oh, another one of those, yay. But I don't know. I need to make a video on John Wick at some point because I feel like I'm both being extremely unfair to it, and I don't know. I do feel like I'm a bit unfair to it. Like I did make definitely
let's keep going.
Better than I say. Yeah, all right. Let's continue.
There are fans of the prequels out there. I think the majority of us can
agree that it's the people who like the prequels because
we can agree that they're very good.
Because I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, it literally doesn't make any sense. Like, there are more people who grew up with the prequels than there are of the OT because OT was before. Like
OT was before it became popular.
Like there's kids who were born around the time of the prequels who are now seeing them for the first time and falling in love with them. Like
Knowledge Hub said that it's a pretty interesting take. If Star Wars was relegated to simply the first movie, it probably would only be remembered as a niche 70s classic and nothing more.
If it was only
it was the prequels that pushed Star Wars into like everything mainstream and everything commercial.
No,
I think it was actually popular before that.
It was, but prequels expanded its longevity by quite a bit.
If Episode 4 was the only movie ever made, there's a lot of things I could say. Like one, George Lucas won at life. Like yes, even if the movie was commercially a failure, I would look at Episode 4 and say, yes, this director, the guy who made it, this is the best. Like, say George Lucas died in like 1980 from a car crash, and Empire is just a few outlines of a script. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it was none of it ever happened, and all we got was episode 4. Like it would be a hidden gem that would be very underrated, and it would be like a depressing thing. Like you know, if only the filmmaker got to make a sequel or whatever. But like one thing would be sure, it would be a cult classic, and it would have, you know, it would be the movie that proves that he was a good, you know, movie maker and stuff. And you know, like it's a good movie, but it's, you know, like I love episode 4. Like, it's just fantastic, but it's
Better than Empire.
yeah, way better than Empire. People
Yeah,
really need to stop. People need to stop saying that Empire is the best Star Wars movie. It's really not.
My
Yeah,
dad
they
thinks
like to say it, but they're wrong.
my dad thinks episode 4 is overrated. He does love episode 3 though.
Yeah, well, who? Like honestly, if you really, I mean, who the hell? You know, like I think that's probably the reason why a lot of people, you know, it's like obviously, music and showing action scenes isn't an argument, but I kind of feel like you know, episode 1 and 2 didn't have enough, just, you know, sheer badassery to really make these idiots shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like the fight in episode 3. Like I remember
Which one? There's 5 different lightsaber fights.
the lightsaber fight in the end between Obi-Wan and Anakin. Like I remember, like you know what I said about how. You know how I said, you know what I said about like after watching Plinka's videos, I was like, pretty good. Not, you know. I mean,
And they're not masterpieces.
no. I mean like when I saw the when I saw the Plinka reviews, and I was like, oh, the movies aren't perfect, but you know, pretty good still. You know, like that moment when he's saying, I'm pretty sure he said this. Like this is just my memory from 5 years ago. George Lucas is making up for the you know, for the lack of logic in the story. And I'm just sort of looking at the scene where Anakin, you know, is running on the pipe and jumping onto the lava. And I'm just like, you're just trying to make it look bad, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's so funny. Like as a naive 15-year-old me, I was watching it. I was like, oh come on. Like you can't. You're just trying
Let's
to
get
make
back on track because it's kind of.
Yeah. We really gotta get going with the video now.
They were very disappointing movies. And I'm
Fuck off! They're not.
Come on! Well, what did you expect? Did you expect
Right,
Jesus
I-
to come on the screen and say, "I have merchandise" or something?
I have to
What?
close my window because I'm probably gonna end up yelling at some point in this video.
Alright. Someone opened my fucking door. Ej, kurš atvēr mans durvis? Neviens? Okay.
What is it with this?
Alright. Should we wait for... I think he has an argument with his mother.
Gotta finish
Film.
this.
Like, let me tell you something. Say that the films were 6 out of 10s, and you know they weren't that good, but you know they had a lot of stuff going for them. You know, like they have like, if you look at the world building alone, you cannot be disappointed with what George Lucas did. You can not be disappointed with what he did. There's no way. Like he did way too much. Like it's just it's the. I mean, just look at a shot of Naboo. Tell me that doesn't inspire wonder in you in some way. Like it's.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
my best to do a level-headed review of The Phantom Menace because we're many years away from the release now. We've all had time to process it. We've all.
You will
Yeah,
try.
Jeremy. Yeah, we will.
We will. We fucking will.
I just want to take this and like edit it together with what Jeremy Johns says, you know? Like we all process it together, and then it like goes into Jeremy Johns like being like, you got new data, and you know, movie's not that bad. uh, honestly, I don't believe you guys really processed it all that much. In fact, that's kind of the thing with the prequels. For the most part, realizing they're good is literally, for the most part, just thinking about what's going on in them.
It's a step in your character arc to becoming who you're meant to be.
Ah, definitely. Like it's like I'll say this right now. Like if you're a movie maker and you think the prequels are bad, and you don't want to do stuff that's like in them, in a way, you're definitely doomed to make less good movies. Because world building and realistic dialogue and, you know, just...
Man, the dialogue in the prequel is bad because Plinkett said so.
Well, okay. Many people say that the prequel dialogue is bad because it's not realistic. I could get why, but
Okay, what kind of human would ever say they fly now?
no one, especially in Star Wars, for fuck.
Besides, that's not why we think the line's
No,
better.
what about the most understandable place?
Alright, so the thing with the they fly now line is that it doesn't make sense because jetpacks were already a thing for years. Now,
Jango Fett who?
what? Oh yeah,
Jango
you're right.
Fett who?
Yeah, you're
man.
right. But
Do you
Boba Fett
remember,
who?
The sequels, Disney made Star Wars in 2012.
but the line should have been oh, they got jetpacks. Oh shit, they got jetpacks, guys. We gotta do something. That's it. What did you say?
that's
Oh, they got jetpacks. What did you
Your
say?
line.
I think a better line would be, oh,
That's way fucking better.
they got so much better.
It's you know, like,
I would probably still audibly cringe in the theater, but
yeah, you definitely would if Ray was like,
it
what do you
would still be
mean?
better.
Shoot.
Hey, wait a minute. I never saw the movie, so what happens to the jetpack guys?
One dies in a comedic fashion. He's just but then smash into a cliff.
Yeah, after he blows up the speeder, you know.
I think it would have been a better line, like, shoot.
Child Soldier did something right for once.
No, I mean like the guys who get launched from the speeders. What happens
Yes.
to them?
Okay,
Die.
I already told what once happened. Okay,
Yeah,
want-
I saw the clip of the guy who smashes into the rock. I know that one. What I'm asking is what happens to the guy who gets like rocket towards them, and they like flies towards them and they see them. Like what does happen to that guy?
They flew now.
What?
They flew now.
They fell now? What?
Flew now.
Flew now.
flew down. Oh, wait. Okay, whatever.
Oh,
Let's continue.
They flew now.
Did
Oh,
you just leave?
oh my god, I don't want to stay here till 2 a.m.
Yeah, no, I get it. By the way, this is the worst thing ever. This review contains spoilers. No shit.
Think about it. And in my
No
notes, I
shit,
actually
I'm-
wrote, don't
think they
hate
do
on
because
it
it doesn't speak too much.
unnecessarily just because you feel like it. I'm gonna
What?
type unnecessarily. I had time to think about it. And in my notes, I actually wrote, don't hate on it unnecessarily just because you feel like it.
Then why do you do that anyway?
Because, man, he doesn't want, because he's trying to stave off trade.
Like, it's seriously, like, if you're going to put that in your video, that you don't just want to blindly hate it, then why do you, then what's the I mean, like, have you, any of you guys ever heard the expression, one man counts for two?
No, I don't.
Well,
I
the idea,
haven't.
the idea is that if you know you're doing something wrong, then then it's twice as bad as normal. So yeah, this is just terrible. Let's go on.
I'm gonna do my best. So it's almost
Now it's time for this.
I'm sure you will.
Media
You're
stuff
still
about
gonna
the
suck.
video.
We haven't seen the video, but I've seen clips, and that tells me enough to know that you failed.
impossible
Okay.
for me to review this movie without giving a humongous thank you and shout out to Red Leg.
To the most ugly, disgusting character ever. He doesn't even look like he's wearing.
Failed!
Have you seen his mom? No?
He doesn't even look like he's wearing pants in this picture. What the fuck?
Yeah. And why the hell? Diabetes. You cut.
It's just like I think that's like movie Bob's cousin or something.
I'm gonna guess that already it's just gonna be a huge Red Letter Media circle jerk.
It's time for him to suck the RLM.
Isn't this like seriously? Isn't this just like the worst like looking thing ever?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a perfect example of what the prequel hate is. Like that character represents the prequel hate. Just a disgusting 45-year-old
The
shit
Hunter,
bag.
don't you remember?
Yeah. He also reminds me of another person that I truly despise. His name is Dark Snovia, a Marxist bastard.
I thought you were talking about Amazing
What the
Atheist.
fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I did not expect that. I literally.
Like, I despise Amazing Atheist because he's the antithesis of what I am.
Quite possibly my favorite movie review of all time. They said everything that's to be said, plus a whole bunch of things no one else ever thought of. But as a master of Star Wars fan, I have a lot of things to say. This movie came out at a perfect time for me. I was 11 when The Phantom Menace came out. All of you people who are always wondering how old I am, I'm 27. I was honestly the perfect age for this movie, 11. I was right there at the cusp of getting into my teenage years, but still a boy. And still, sitting in this movie theater as the movie began and the dialogue started, something just felt off.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
There are things I'm very thankful for Phantom Menace 4, like for instance Episode 1 Pod Racer on the Nintendo 64, or Episode 1 Battle for Naboo. I had so much fun with these games, and I still enjoy playing them every once in a while. I was collecting the Star Wars toys at the time, like Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Mace Windu and C-3PO, and I had all kinds of stuff. I mean, young Jedi cards. I was so into it, my friends and I even held pretend radio shows. We recorded our voices onto cassette tape and tried to pretend to be Star Wars characters. It was amazing.
Hi, my name is Christopher Stuckmann on the late early show at 7 o'clock in the morning. On Channel 5. Today our first guest's name is Luke Skywalker. How you doing, Luke? Good. Well, that's good. Did you have an asthma attack?
And I also found an old TV guide from 1999 with an interview with Liam Neeson right before The Phantom Menace came out, and the opening paragraph of said interview revealed quite a bit. Liam Neeson was so eager to be in The Phantom Menace, he accepted the role of the stern Jedi Knight Qui-Gon Jinn without reading one word of George Lucas's script. Oh. In fact, this movie had such an impact on the pop culture before it was released, as well as afterwards, that I came up with a term to describe it, and I call it phantom menacing. Any film can be phantom menaced. You can be so excited for this movie. You feel like your entire life's happiness is riding on the success of this movie. You get so pumped out of your mind that you might actually cry when you get on the success of this movie. You get so pumped out of your mind that you might actually cry when you get the chance to see it. Then you see it, and you theater and you become in denial about how bad it actually was, and you
had a sort of thing where people were like,
It wasn't hated at the time, but it wasn't like.
but I mean, like, no. It was, people had excitement, and the excitement sort of went away because the movie was just a lot more talking than it was just crazy action. I can understand that, but you're not gonna fucking tell me that just because it wasn't as exciting. People weren't still excited. What do you think? What do you think people? What do you think? Episode 2 and 3 were also highly anticipated, dudes. Like this is just revisionist history. Like it's just
Yeah.
I think that
History
actually
is written by the
Phantom Menace
victors.
has pretty good. I think the Phantom Menace has pretty good pacing. I think the slow one would be Attack of the Clones.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's it's just
That
ridiculous.
one's the talking one. This one's the
Like this one.
this one's the Jar Jar one.
I think what just pisses me off is that he's pretending to talk for us. Like I never had a problem with the films.
Yeah, I really hate that.
Like I never had a problem with the film, so fuck off. I
always
enjoyed it.
thought that they were fine, but now I think that they're really good.
Like just fuck off. Like, don't talk for me. Don't tell me that I was disappointed. I saw the fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul in episode 1. Like it was around that time I first saw the movie. I was like, wow, this is the most awesomest thing ever. Ever. Fuck off.
Stay in denial for many years until you have.
Yeah, see, you stay in denial. Yeah. We okay,
Enough
guys.
years to to get to 2020 without dropping your faith in the movie.
We are just
When are we gonna realize that the movie's bad, huh?
Yeah, you know what? It will probably, because we're man children. It will be once we we're like 30 or something. I don't
No,
fucking-
once we learn to trust the woman.
Oh my God, have we all seen that video by Pop Culture Detective?
movies are
The
good.
Last Jedi defies expectations about women.
Oh fuck yeah! I
Oh, God,
fucking
fuck that
despise
guy.
that video.
That guy is straight up just racist against or sexist.
Besides-
That guy is sexist against men.
Racist against men.
He's racist against white people and sexist against men. Like he's a gender equality.
Why you hate men, racist?
Yeah, and yeah, any bitches
Because
about
men.
Besides, the women are more
have the
competent than
oppressive
men
role.
in the movie.
have
The only
oppressive role.
competent male in the movie, Snoke, is the guy who wears a dress.
What about Poe?
well,
Poe has to sit on the ship and do nothing because Holdo's
Poe-
an idiot.
Poe gets to be competent in the beginning and then becomes incompetent at the end. He does the right thing in the beginning and does the wrong thing in the end.
I said, like Mara said this perfectly. He gets punished for doing the right thing and not punished for doing the wrong thing.
I find that hilarious about the movie. Like just all these other movies, it's always, you're reckless, but you did a good job, thanks. And now it's just like, fuck you.
yeah, yeah.
Recklessness is gay.
Like okay, let's say Mulan. The Emperor is like, you blew up my palace and blah 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 blah, but you did save us, so I can't exactly be an asshole about that. Like just all types of stuff.
That
like
was the line from the movie. Yep.
Imagine if he said, like, you blew up my palace. You have better survival on China on small odds and put us all at risk.
Yeah,
Bad odds.
you will become my concubine. Actually,
I know what you're referencing. That's horrible. Then she just commits suicide right there and then.
yeah, agreed.
She literally hops on a firework and just splits the palace in half.
This is such stupid. Oh! I get what you did there. There was a hold-on maneuver with the fireworks.
Destroys the right wing of the palace.
Yeah, I believe that Holdo was originally an Imperial officer turned a Resistance officer because her logic of, her
Neurological fucks-ups.
are only explain that she was a Imperial officer. I think the Battle of Chiron, whatever that was, probably that everyone fucking died except for Holdo and Luke that saved her.
Oh my god, my
Yeah,
mind.
and the reason that she did the hold on maneuver was because she was actually trying to escape and accidentally entered in the wrong coordinates.
My mind is starting to get crazy.
No, like
I could have sworn I heard you said I could have sworn I heard you say that being the Tyrone fight. I was imagining two black Jedis just sort of beating the shit out of him.
No, no. Chiron.
Yeah, they mention it in the movie, The Battle of Chiron Belt.
Yeah, they never
Oh my
expand
god!
that one.
I just realized something. Like his lazy video making is literally making it easier for us because we're at minute 3, but it's so insanely short compared to the other guys that it's not even as bad as it's going to be, like with the other guys. So thanks for that, Chris Stuckmann. Laziness does pay off.
The only problem is that we're talking some random shit.
Oh,
No, we're not. It's alright.
We love
Eventually
you.
reveal to yourself, you know what? That wasn't that good. And I'm not going to be a
Fuck off.
hypocrite about this. I did
Come on, you're a hypocrite about it.
this
Mud,
myself
be
in
gone,
2008
thought.
with a little film called Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the...
Fuck off!
Alright.
All right. I'm not going to argue with any of the things about the movie. I'm not going to tolerate any arguments. All right. Listen to me right the fuck now. He marries at the end and has a happy ever after. All right.
No, Luke should have done that, but
Survives the nuke by getting in a fridge.
if
Okay.
Ryan Johnson directed that film, Indiana Jones would have died alone on a cliff.
Well, this is why I said I'm not gonna argue with anything. I'm just saying, happy ending. Pretty good.
Happy ending equals good.
Huh?
No, like,
Happy ending equals good.
No, I'm not saying it's good because it ends well. I'm just saying that you can't say the movie is just bad. Like it's got a lot of problems, like insane amount of problems. But it's got a happy ending and most of it is okay. So, like,
Yes.
It's just fine, honestly.
It
doesn't hold a candle to the original trilogy.
You have to just understand, like, my perspective. Like, that ending is really good. He's married. He's got a son. Like it's a really good ending. Like but I mean, like I get why people think it's bad, but I will when I cover Plinkett, I will actually cover this one too because this one less underrated than the prequels. This is definitely closer to being a mad movie, but it's he did shit on that one in the similar way.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! I said that we weren't going to argue, and we did it anyway. Damn it!
Yeah.
Let's move on.
With the Crystal Skull. That was my exact experience with that movie. As a fan at that age, I was too young to really notice how stupid the special edition and
Fuck off!
I saw them in theaters. I was so excited.
Unironically,
Jesus Christ!
Puppet looks way better in CGI, and 2, the song unironically slaps.
All right. So, this is actually one of those instances where I actually just despise the scene. Like whenever it happens, besides the moment where Django, Boba gets weird with a bunch of, I can only assume strippers. Like, besides that moment where I laugh my ass off, the whole scene, I find it to be terrible. But you know what? I did so well when I was a kid too. So fuck off, mister.
Honestly, this might get me hung, but I like the scene.
Okay.
You can like it. It's just, I'm just saying that
Lucas completed his goal to make this silly, goofy.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the thing with it, is that it's sort of like the prequels where it makes sense, and because it makes sense, it really works. Like, it's a disgusting, weird, what the fuck, dance thing that only Jabba could enjoy. So I'm just like, when I see that, I'm just like, but I kind of feel like that is also what he was going for. So
Yeah. It was like, I think if it was 2D animated, I think it would be better.
It would have been worse. Like, you wouldn't get that.
I think a 2D Gennady Tarkovsky version of the original trilogy and prequels would actually be really cool.
True.
Yeah, indeed.
I
But,
want
um,
like
But
I
yeah,
want like a one-dimensional version of the sequel trilogy.
but like it's
It's already one-dimensional.
but it,
All right. A little bit.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I have one thing to do.
all right, cool. See you in 20 minutes or whatever. The I really hate how people show that screenshot out of context and just say that is all the special editions he ever made. Like
What?
The OT and the OT and the prequels look way better when they were remastered.
Yep,
Yeah.
way better, way better.
Once he did some touching up, the films looked incredible.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There were remasters of the prequels?
Well,
Yeah,
kinda.
the Blu-ray edition.
They remastered Yoda in the
I
Phantom
have to-
Menace. He was a puppet.
They also corrected a lot. They also corrected a lot of the blue screen, and they like redid the lighting and the rotoscoping a little bit.
Chris Stuckmann had an IQ higher than his brain, higher than his age. Then I think he would have hated it.
I have this distinct memory that Qui-Gon cuts a droid, like when he's saving the Queen in the beginning of the movie, and his legs just keep on walking for a little bit. Like I have this utterly distinct memory of that, where I remember that is what happened, and I never seen it again. Maybe that's in like an older version. I gotta look into that.
Maybe.
I just rewatched it on Disney Plus recently, so I think it's still there.
Well, the thing is now, like the version I see now, is he's sort of standing there, and then he falls over, which might have just been my child eyes making him walk, thinking that he was walking. But it's interesting to think about, I guess, because I remember to this day, I swear blind that it was like that he was walking there. Like that's what my memory is screaming at me whenever I see that scene. So it's just it's always a little.
Well, I think we're getting a bit off track here. Let's get back to Chrissy.
For it, I loved seeing the originals. I was collecting the toys that were released at that time. I had Star Wars Pogs. Who else remembers Pogs? And as we're sitting,
I kind of do.
I do.
I remember they were in
little bit.
Cheetos.
I mean, I didn't have those things, but I did have stuff that was like it, where you have like a little insignia.
Yes, I remember them being on Cheetos.
I
We're
love how
watching
he's,
this video about this YouTuber who basically started this gambling thing with Pogs.
I love how he's talking about this, and me, a guy who was literally born in 2000. Like I even know about it.
No, I'm a young one.
You are
Well-
way too young. You should have been born earlier, man.
Well, definitely Pogs.
Actually, the means you're going to live longer in this age. So that means
No,
you'll get to,
I don't. No, we're all gonna live until this year ends because we're gonna die. Like, there's been a disaster of the month for every single month.
no, I'll live. Maybe you guys will die, but
Like,
actually,
we're in America. We had a curfew this.
Oh God,
don't-
Latvian, I horrifically cut you off. What were you going to say?
I think the Star Wars Pogs weren't in your country or mine. There were different kinds of Pogs, but I don't remember Star Wars.
Lots of
ones.
Pogs, though.
I recognize the idea. Like I have that for other films. Like that's what I mean. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's move on.
we're sitting in the theater, we begin to realize we're watching a movie about political squabbling, trade negotiations.
What's wrong with that?
And it's great.
Yeah.
Ah! Fuck
These
off.
political squabbles are way better than HJW politics in now.
Fucking hell!
Even without the quote unquote politics, the movies would still be garbage.
I mean, seriously, like, who the fuck cares? It's peace times. You want to know how wars get started?
They get started by
Clearly,
spontaneity.
this is how you start a war. You just reboot the franchise and pretend there's a war going on already.
I wish there was
Thanks,
like
JJ.
I wish like there was like half
You
the
know-
screen and the other half was just JJ puppeteering things.
Yeah. You know, like
Yeah.
seriously, like George Lucas, he took the easy path with Episode 4 when it came to the story. There was just already a war happening inexplicably. Like in the prequels, he actually worked for it, and he actually made a logical through line that made it happen. Like he went back and did the hard part himself. Why is he not commended for this? Why was
Because
there
RLM.
why was there not like a sect of reviewers that were like we are very pleased with George Lucas's story, even though some people may say it's boring. It's very intelligently put together, but no, none of that shit. It's
Because
really...
RLM just drowned him out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying they do? Well, to be honest, I could imagine a bunch of 6-year-old movie reviewers, saying that it's intelligently written and then being ignored by everyone because they do it in the paper or something.
Yeah.
I could imagine that, but it's really frustrating. So, next thing he's gonna say is probably gonna make me explode, so I'm gonna just mute myself preemptively.
Like,
And peace treaty signings and backhanded politics and Senate.
Handed mean it's pretty integral to the story.
what's wrong with Senate
Backhanded
meetings?
means like ironic or like snide. I don't know what you mean.
I know what the fuck
Sure, read
backhand
your
means.
dictionary.
It doesn't matter. It's just a phrase that refers to like it's referred to. It's like giving someone a backhanded compliment. Like it's a compliment
I
that is
understand,
also.
but it means like sort of insincere or ambiguous. But
Yeah, like
is
backhand.
is the are the politics sincere?
English wasn't
Ambiguous?
Chris's first
No.
language.
Yeah.
Meetings. And when you actually read about how this movie was filmed and that they only built sets for the backgrounds high enough to keep the actor's eye line in frame, and then they had to spend all this extra money because of Liam Neeson.
Okay, let's look that up.
I really don't believe you. Like I just straight up don't believe what you're saying to me.
It's probably true.
No.
I think he's one of those guys that actually watches the behind the scenes.
The sets have roofs, dude. Come on.
Maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I haven't seen the behind the scenes documentaries.
And by the way, say it is true, which it's not. Looks pretty good still, though. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, how the hell you could make a set pretty damn short?
6'4" to build higher sets. When you think about that, that's kind of funny, but then you realize, wait a second, they only built a couple walls behind these actors and didn't even give them an environment or a room to really stand in that often. They were basically just walking around a green or a blue screen room.
This is just basically.
Chris, man, I'm gonna go on Chris's channel real quick.
This is just.
Because if there's something that he
This is just
I'm pulling
blind.
something up. Chris.
This is just blind,
man.
retarded copying of what Blinkett says.
He has reviewed Marvel movies before. I'm pretty sure he has a pretty high opinion of them. What do you think they do in those films, Chris?
What movies?
They have practical
The
aliens.
Marvel movies. Marvel movies. They're CGI, they're blue screen, they're digital, they're all of this.
They have nice makeup, I will say.
They have better
Sure,
acting.
Yeah, so does the prequels.
They really should get Oscars for their makeup design and costuming.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if you look at those pictures of the MCU, like that actually makes me utter the words maybe a little bit too much green screen. Like, what's interesting about the prequels?
Sorta.
What's interesting about the prequels is that a lot of the like fully blue screen sets, they have multiple things that represent each object in the like for instance, when Padme is in the the droid factory, like those things she has to duck under, those were real blue CGI objects, the blue screen things that were in the way so it would look better. Like, you know, in a way, you can perceive that as a semi-practical, semi-CGI effect. Like a lot of the stuff in the MCU things is just fully. Although I don't see those movies, so I can't just say that. But at least that one frame I see there, like I can imagine that they do that all the time because at this point they don't even need to worry about it. But it's but you know, like honestly, if you start to look at it that way, where's even the line anyway? Like I suppose it's when you're literally just standing in a room with nothing but green screen.
No, there's no. I don't think there should be a line because I think, like, is an art form in and of itself, and to discount it all together is to discount a lot of things.
Oh well, my line, the line I was talking about is when is it practical, when is it CGI? Because I mean, you know, having objects that are still blue screen but represent.
Really should have gone to alien planets.
There's a scene in there was a scene cut from episode 1. Where there was a scene cut from episode 1 where Jar Jar climbs up from the water, and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon help him up, and you see their hands on his skin, and it looks amazing. Like it looks really good.
I've seen that deleted scene, I think, but there is another version where Jar Jar just falls over that with that ship and dies, which probably many people would love that.
Was
Well,
that a thing in the movie where they plan to kill him?
No, it's
Wow.
alternative deleted scene for that.
Oh, God, that would have been depressing.
And kind of funny in a
Alright.
black humor way.
Let's just
Yeah, let's just move on. This guy is just.
That doesn't.
Let's just. I feel like we should just ignore this because it's not even worth commenting on. He's just regurgitating Plinka. Also, those are practical effects right over there. That's a set he's building. What the fuck?
Alright, have you guys covered the episode 3's review by Plinkett?
No, but we will cover Plinkett eventually. But
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I will be ready for it.
Factor at all. And when you
Deviant,
constantly-
if we cover Plinkett again, we just got to start from the beginning. All right. All right.
Alright.
All right. So let's take a look at him shitting all over George while he's showing footage that counters his points.
tell your actor to go faster and more intense, and that's all you say, you're gonna have.
That's a real platform there.
Hey, you just said we should ignore him.
Okay, you're right. It's just the levels of wrongness override the levels of
Yeah, I get it.
Performances that all feel the same. And when you watch The Phantom Menace, I
Yeah, well, the characters are very. Oh God, he's gonna say it.
challenge you to find a performance, excluding Jar Jar, that's not "my people need help." I want you to sign the peace treaty. Nothing.
Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, C-3PO.
Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy so much. Seriously. Just, I mean, like, unironically, I'm 100% sure this is what he said. I want that treaty signed immediately. Like, it.
No, he says it like
that-
this, Replica. He says it in a monotone voice because that's all the prequels are.
I am 100% convinced. Like, I remember this. Like, he was, like, the Nemodians are actually really expressive with how they talk. Like, it's.
Yeah.
Because they're out of their element. They're out of their element the whole movie. Like, it's.
Yeah.
God damn.
Nothing can get through our shields. My name is Qui-Gon Jinn. My name is Obi-Wan.
Nobody. No. You are lying right now. All right. Like you are just straight up fucking lying. This is not how they act in the movies. This is not how they act in the movies. They're not this monotone. Go to hell. Oh
Yeah.
my god. It's the whole movie. Qui-Gon is like, he's sort of talking like this. So what is to come of the one named Jar Jar here? It's not, what is to come of the one named Jar Jar here? You...
Alright, let's continue.
Obi. My name is Anakin Skywalker.
Jake Lloyd, definitely. Did you miss the part where he goes like, yippee? Like,
Yippee!
The whole movie, he's super expressive. Like he's like, my name is Anakin, and I'm a person. What the fuck is? We know what the fuck is going on. He's just bullshitting. He's just bullshitting to make it look bad. He's not doing anything else. And by the way, even if this was true, it wouldn't make the movie bad because dialogue, a movie bad does not make. Jesus Christ.
Are you an angel?
He literally says, "Are you an angel?" He literally says that. He doesn't say, "Are you an angel?"
No, that sounds like someone with a brain damage.
Yeah. Fuck off. Go to hell.
Why the hell is Deviant?
He's vomiting because of how hard
Maybe.
he's reaching
I
right
think
now.
I think you guys are
It's
right.
just- Like Deviant is like slamming his head against the wall because he can't deal with the amount of dog shit that's going on. Same for Airborne. He's just muted himself. Like Airborne's just taking a shower because he can't deal with this shit.
I wasn't there when you
in
reacted
this
to
movie is
it.
on the same level of emotion because there is no real actor-director relationship going on.
No, you just couldn't tell because you weren't paying attention. They're monks. She is a queen. And how was Deviant? How was slamming your head against the wall?
Look, I was trying to escape this Roblox thing that just trapped me.
My game.
Oh,
Is that my game, Johnny?
I'm starting to enjoy doing the streams with you. You are funny. But yeah, like they're Jedi. She's a queen.
But what was his point? I mean, I've done this thing before, but like, I wanted to improve this rant sort of thing.
He's retarding about he's retarding about the actors like monotoneness.
No, I can speak in sort of a monotone tone, and you wouldn't find it too dull.
Yeah.
Yep.
I sometimes find dull acting, but when someone says it is and I don't see it, but sometimes I really don't see it.
If it's like the acting in Sharknado where they don't really care about the sharks eating their friends' faces, that's kind of bad.
I mean, if we're gonna go on that level, most movies, bad guys don't really seem to react to their friends getting killed.
No, because they're evil guys, and evil guys are always evil and have no nuance, and always must be evil.
Or just they're guys that just don't give a shit.
Well, I mean,
I can
even
assume that
then,
those guys exist, you know.
well, even then, it's for instance, stuff like somebody getting shot like right next to you. Even if you don't care, like I find it a huge point of, like I always find it a very silly thing in a movie when some dude gets hit and the guy next to him is just like, he just keeps shooting, like he doesn't even care, like he doesn't even react.
If they're in a fight or flight situation, I can believe that.
Well, I mean,
Did I just say believe?
well, to be honest, that would be like two multiple problems together, because you know, I don't know, like it's not